This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello and welcome to another edition of C2C Rankem. I'm the host, Big B, along with my fellow co-host halfway around the world, Tim Hendricks. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Us in the sports world. I'll take the sports world one. You take the entertainment world one.
Yeah.
Everybody in the sports world, and most people who know me and watch the show plenty of times, especially Morning Tailgate, knows that I'm a Colts fan. And it was nice to wake up this morning to people texting me going, your owner died. Happy it was peacefully in his sleep. But 65 is still young. I know we've all got our demons, but now's not the time to go ahead and throw the demons onto the fire. He loved the city of Indianapolis. He loved the Colts, and he's paid his penance. And when the last thing you see on Twitter X is how much he loves the city and talking about the hoping that the Pacers beat the Knicks, and you get what you want. It's nice to see what love he had for the city, but it sucks. But his three daughters will be taking over the organization. I didn't know. We both had to look last while we were backstage to see who did own the Colts. But it's in good hands. As much as people in Baltimore would disagree, then they don't like the Irsays, but they got the Ravens, we got the Colts and Indy. So, but outside of that, it's a sad day, and it's a sad day at the Horseshoe, but we move on.
Yep, yeah, you sure do. And then, of course, the day before, we get the news that George Wentz passed away. I hope I pronounced his name right. Norm from Cheers. I mean, what can you just say about that show himself? I mean, and I think you're the one that posted his final line on Cheers, which kind of hit home a little bit. But a beloved Bears fan. I mean, we've seen his little bits with the Mike Ditka crew, so it'll be interesting to see what somebody does a remake of that or something. So yeah, a couple big names here the last couple of days. So I hope the fans and the family are all doing well with that news. So, but with that being said, let's get into it. Last week we had to miss due to some scheduling conflicts, but we're back. We got three actors, three actresses. Kind of been the running theme lately on their top movies. So let's get into it. The first one is Charlie Theron.
Charlize Theron?
Yeah, that one. So, all right. So I'll tell you right now, I've seen her movies. I couldn't pick her out of a lineup. She's standing in front of me with two people. So it'll be interesting to see what we do. So, I'll go three.
Well, let's double check. I got to check my list again. 1, 2. I can give you 3. Yeah, I'll give you 3.
All right. So let's go with it. You start.
So my number one, everybody remembers that Now I can't even remember his name. That's great. Oh, Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane at that time was only known for doing animated TV shows. Family Guy, American Dad. You got all that, and then this is before he did Ted and Ted 2. He started venturing out and doing this movie, and the running joke was there's a running joke in Family Guy that Liam Neeson can never play a cowboy because it would never sound convincing. And it's hilarious because I'm going to say it now, spoilers now, it's the fact that Liam Neeson plays a cowboy, but he plays a villainous cowboy who's married to Charlize Theron in this movie. It's funny because you get small little cameo roles in this movie from Neil Patrick Harris, but the funniest one is that Jamie Lee Fox. I was going to say Jamie Lee Curtis at this point. But Jamie Foxx reprises a role, which is funny because I think it was like a running joke, another running joke, and he plays a character from a Quentin Tarantino movie that had basically Leonardo DiCaprio saying the N-word like it was a comma in that movie, where Jamie Foxx basically reprises the role of Django. And I thought this movie was brilliant. I love it. I saw this at the theater. I had to see it. I'm a big Westerns fan. And I thought I think this was amazing. My number 5 is A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Yeah, I saw that. It would have been number 6. I didn't see the movie. I mean, I kind of figured tying the actors in there that's where you would have it. So I figured that's what you would have had. But I'm going to go animate a little bit here on this one. Just because I liked the series when growing up, they redid it. They made it animated. I'm going Addams Family.
Who was she in Addams Family? I didn't see this. I didn't see it. Tell me she played Morticia.
Let's see here. In the Addams Family. Yeah, she played Morticia Addams.
I didn't see the cartoon.
Yeah. It was 2 animated movies, it looks like. So, all right. Number 4.
My number 4, let me double check. Yeah. I was lucky enough to go to Venice to see where some of this movie was filmed. It's a remake. I just can't remember who was in the original. It stars Matt Damon, not Matt Damon. This is where everybody gets this all wrong. It's either get Matt Damon or Mark Wahlberg. And it's got Mark Wahlberg in it, where Mark Wahlberg plays a prodigy of Donald Sutherland's character in the movie, and Edward Norton plays again, spoiler if nobody's seen it, plays the villain, and they try to go in and like Ocean's 11, 12, 13 style, try to break into Edward Norton's house to get the money back that he had all taken away from the whole group. But Charlize Theron plays the daughter of Donald Sutherland, and she's the only safecracker that can go after this big safe that's in Edward Norton's house. It's another movie. I can't say it enough that I love this movie just for what it was. Also to see little Mini Coopers basically going through subway tunnels and getting and put onto the subway cars or train cars. It's amazing stunt work. But my number 4 is The Italian Job.
Okay. All right. My number 4 stars pretty much the guy who, at one time you put him in anything and he turns it into gold. That's Will Smith. I got number 4, 2008's Hancock.
I swear to God. I know what my number 3 is right now. And well, it's not C2C unless we're sniping. I knew as soon as you said it, Will Smith, I'm like, yeah, he's sniping me. My number 3 is your number 4. And the funny thing is they play husband and wife in the movie.
Yeah.
I like it. It's just like you don't normally see Will Smith portray being a character like that, and I thought that's what really made it a lot of fun for me. And they play superheroes. Guess I'm gonna spoil every movie I can at this point. But yeah, my number 3 is your number 4, Hancock.
All right. My number 3, I watched this back, late 90s. If you could be friends with the gorilla the size of that one in the movie, I guess, Disney does it right. My number 3 is Mighty Joe Young.
That might have been my number 6. I have to remember. Yeah, that would have been my number 6.
Your number 2.
My number 2. This is the movie that gave Charlize Theron her Oscar. She plays a character that has ties to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. If you watch the beginning of the movie, they go and talk to, I want to say, her aunt who lives in Hancock, which is funny because she does a movie called Hancock, but there's a Twin Cities up in the UP that's known as Houghton Hancock, and her aunt lives in Hancock, and they talk about this woman, but she's the only female serial killer that has been put to death in the state of Florida. Okay. And it's just, she plays it to a T. And the funny thing is, you brought up, she played Morticia Addams in the Addams Family, and she plays opposite of Wednesday from the original Addams Family movies, the one with Angelica Houston and Raul Julia with Christina Ricci. But she plays Eileen Wuornos. I tell you, you have to watch this movie. This woman is psycho. She doesn't look anything like the Charlize Theron that we know. But my number 2 is Monster.
Alrighty. My number 2, it's a good movie. I like it. It's got some good cast in there. It's got Tom Hanks in there. I don't consider it a musical. Some do, but I know where you're going.
I know where you're going, and I don't consider it a musical.
Yeah, and the thing is I think she was only in there for a brief couple scenes.
Yeah, she's in there for like a sneeze.
Yeah. So, but my number 2 is That Thing You Do.
I love that movie.
I
absolutely love that movie.
Yeah. Your number 1.
Well, my number 1. This is to me the opposite, the other person who I think is a lot like Will Smith, in where everything that he touches is gold. It just looks perfect, and that's Keanu Reeves. It's a great movie. This is the joke. Remember the joke about how Al Pacino can't say the word Ocala even though he filmed the movie in Ocala, which I don't know if I told you that story or if I told that to M, but okay. He makes a comment in The Recruit that about Ocala, and the fact is that he filmed this movie that I'm talking about in Ocala, and one of the bar scenes at the beginning of the movie is a bar that my brother worked at much later after the movie was filmed, and they claim that the movie was filmed in Gainesville, Florida, which I lived 20 minutes from when I lived in Florida between 2005 and 2018. But I love this movie. It's Keanu Reeves, it's Al Pacino. They perfectly play off each other. Like it's amazing. And Charlize Theron plays Keanu Reeves' wife. I love the movie. Another one I saw at the theater. My number 1 is Devil's Advocate.
Okay, I was trying to figure out which one you're going at there. But yeah, I see it right there. My number 1, this series of movies has so many different cast members that, I think if you want to be a part of it, you got to be just that good, I guess, so. But I know she's in a few of them. She might be in all of them. I didn't see them all listed, but my number 1 is the Fast and the Furious series.
She's in 2.
I was gonna say I think she's only like 2 or 3.
She's in 9. She's in 9. She's in 10, and then she's going to be in 10 too.
Okay. So, well, we got one. We're starting off like the Rockies here. So.
Yep.
All right,
Actually,
let's go.
our winning percentage is better.
Yeah. So let's go into our first male actor, the guy that I think everybody would like to have them be a reader of their life, Morgan Freeman. So, 1, 2. I'd hate to go 4, but you know what? I'll go 3.
I'll go 3 with you.
All right. So my number 5, kind of brought it up. You kind of just brought it up in your last set there. With one of your movies, the creator of this one, he plays a lawyer for a talking bear. What else can you say? What else can you say? I got 10 too.
I forgot all about that. I forgot that he was legitimately the lawyer in the second one.
Yeah,
I literally forgot that.
yeah. To have a friend as a teddy bear that comes to life, I think would be kind of creepy, but be kind of cool too. So
yeah, the funny thing is you and I grew up in the late 80s and the early 90s, and the serious worry about us having a Thunder Buddy is kind of scary.
Yep.
That meant differently back in the 80s and 90s to where it is now, but
yeah.
Holy smokes.
All right, buddy. You're number 5.
My number 5, I brought this movie up in another one that we did with Brad Pitt. I've seen the extended edition of this movie. It's crazy because I have this feeling that these movies link to like other James Patterson movies, and I don't even think this was originally a James Patterson book. But all I can ever get stuck in my head is you got Brad Pitt, you got Morgan Freeman, and you have Kevin Spacey in a desert, and all of a sudden a delivery guy comes up and brings a box, and all you can hear, I don't know how many weeks after that I had in my dreams, and they weren't even nightmares, but they were just in my dreams where anybody would say, "What's in the box?" I don't know how many times I've seen this movie, and it still bothers me, but in that good way. But my number 5 is 7.
Yep. My number 4, again, it comes off the Batman series, but it's more on the darker side of things. To me, I think this was a good one of the best Dark Knight movies. But yeah, my number 4 is Dark Knight.
This is how bad it is, right? Everybody, I have 3 tattoos of Batman, and I'm going to tell you, I don't have Batman. I don't have the Dark Knight. I don't have Batman Begins. I don't have the Dark Knight trilogy on my list. This is, I'll be honest, this ranks up there with the Tony Gwynn.
Okay.
I'm absolutely embarrassed that I completely forgot that. I wouldn't have put one movie on here if it weren't. Oh my god!
All right, you're number 4.
My number 4. Let me double check, make sure. Okay, yeah, still no Dark Knight. I like this movie. I remember I watched this for a long time ago, and it came out a long time ago. But it came out. I watched it for the first time in like 91 during like an American history class, and it's crazy considering the two major actors that were in this movie. One was just starting out The other was basically already a mentor at this point. And when I say the first one was just starting out, it's scary. You got Matthew Broderick, who is basically coming off the back of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but
Oh.
he's not the legend. Morgan Freeman's the legend, but the other legend, the one that was just starting out, was Denzel Washington. I think this is the movie that Denzel got his first Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor. It's just to see the way Denzel works off of Morgan and how Morgan works off of Denzel. It's a great history piece. I think everybody should really watch it. It's about the first Black infantry during the Civil War. My number 4 is Glory.
That was a good one, yeah. My number 3, I know I've seen it at least once, and it probably was in class, or I had to do something for class for it. So my number 3 is Shawshank Redemption.
You've seen it once?
I've seen it once. You know it's not my style movie.
I know. It's a Stephen King film. It's a Stephen King movie. Okay. I guess I kind of have to let that go, right?
You're number 3.
All right, my number 3. Again, let me check. Yep, no, Dark Knight. I think this is the movie that really started to kick off the term bucket list. You've basically two guys who don't know each other. They're in a hospital and they're dying of cancer. And Jack Nicholson plays this rich multi-millionaire, and he makes this. He's sharing a room with Morgan Freeman, who's also dying of cancer in the movie, and he's not as rich as Jack Nicholson. This is the movie that I would have taken off, just so you know. But it's brilliant. It's a brilliant movie. This would easily been 6 if I'd have remembered The Dark Knight. But and then Morgan's writing out things that he should do before he dies, and Jack Nicholson basically grants his wish and does all those things. I think it's an amazing movie. I think it's a must-watch movie. It's two people that I never would have expected to work together in a buddy film, in Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman, but it's definitely a must-watch for everybody to watch. I've pretty much given the title away already, but my number 3 is The Bucket List.
Yeah, good one. Yeah, that combo there is just like, not your first choice of combos, I guess.
Right.
So, but my number 2 is, I saw this. I thought I've seen it, but now I'm thinking of a different trio. Now that I'm looking at some clips here, but I'm not going to change it up because I thought this was different. But it's Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, Alan Arkin. This is where I thought you were going with, like the bucket list. Matt Dillon's in it. It's the movie called Going in Style.
That's the thing is, it's funny because I get Netflix. Okay, if Netflix hears this, they need to like sponsor a show. But I've been on Netflix for some reason, and they've been pushing that movie down my throat, trying to get me to watch Going in Style. So I saw that one.
I may have to watch it. I thought it was a different one where it was 3 guys and they all.
They're all dying in the movie.
Yeah, but I think there's another one too I'm thinking of, where it was 3 guys just like one last ride or something that they want to go. Yeah.
And then there's one like Red too, where Morgan Freeman plays unless I've just stole your number 1.
No.
Okay. Let me get my number 2. My number 2, I believe we've had this come up on another actor. This is another one where we're bound to lose 2 more of these people in this movie. Morgan Freeman being one, the director and the main star. The other, we just lost Gene Hackman that was in this movie. We lost Ed Harris. We lost Ed Harris a long time ago. But after Gene Hackman died, I had to watch this movie again, just to have it fresh in my memory, and it's just brilliant. I don't think this movie gets enough credit. And it probably got all the credit in the world, and it's still not enough. My number, let me see. You said 2, right?
Yep.
My number 2 is Unforgiven.
Okay. All right, our last chance to get one snipe here. My number 1. You play God. You play with Jim Carrey. I don't know what else. I mean, it was a good movie, especially when he hands over his God role to Jim Carrey to try to fix the world. So, my number 1 is Bruce Almighty.
I just remembered. I just need to know, what was your number 4 again?
Dark Knight.
What was your number 3?
Shawshank Redemption.
All right, cool. All right, just had to check. It's not C2C unless we're sniping. My number 1 is your number 3. My favorite movie of all time is Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, okay.
This is one of those, back in the day, everybody, when Wizard of Oz was on TV, you watched it.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if there's 5 minutes left of this movie, I will turn it on. I will watch the credits. I love this movie. I love this movie so much that I will watch the credits for no reason. Like, what are you watching? Oh, Shawshank Redemption. But you've only been home 7 minutes. Yeah, I know. I will watch the credits. I will watch the end credits of this movie because that's how into this movie I am. I have still yet to read the book, but I love this. That's the next book that's on my list. Right now I'm reading The Institute, but Shawshank Redemption to me is a masterpiece. And to believe it did not win the Oscar is still beyond me. But then again, when you look at the movies that were nominated for the Oscar that year, Schindler's List, Jurassic Park, Forrest Gump, there was 7 movies on there that could have won everything every year up and down the line. And for Shawshank just to be nominated at that point, I was happy.
All right. So 2 out of 10 so far, Snipes.
Still better than the 2004 or 2024 White Sox and the 2025 Colorado Rockies.
All right, so let's move into the lovely Meg Ryan here. I
will tell you right now, I have a double up.
You have a double up.
I have a double up.
I'm gonna go 4.
You're gonna go 4. Okay. Now I always have to try to remember what movies you like. Oh gosh. Like I said, I'm doubled up, and if you spread yours out, 4, I could do 4. Why not?
All right. Well, kick it off.
My number 5 is technically a Nicolas Cage movie, where he plays an angel who basically becomes in love with the Meg Ryan character. It's brilliant. The end scenes of this movie are just so heartbreaking. If anybody's going to watch it, I'm not going to spoil it. This is the one movie I won't spoil, but it breaks your heart when you realize what happens and then what happens after it happens. It just breaks your heart. It's one of those romance dramas that you expect to, and then it just rips it just basically rips the rug from underneath you. My number 5 is City of Angels.
I was going to go 5. This was my number 5. and I didn't know if you were going to have it, but at 5, I got City of Angels 2. That's the only movie I was like, okay, he's got to have the other 4. I was like, I didn't know City of Angels would have made it up there. So,
Oh God, no! That is one of those movies that the end haunts. It haunts me because of the ending. So it's unbelievable.
all right, you're number 4.
My number 4. Good thing we did 4 because I don't know if I may catch here. This is the one. I'm kind of glad that I doubled up on one spot because this might be the one that I might not be sure about. You know how we talked about Denzel Washington. And this is a Meg Ryan Denzel Washington movie where they're trying to give Meg Ryan the Medal of Honor, if I'm not mistaken. And what she does in the movie, I've seen this movie once or twice, and it's, I think Cuba Gooding Jr. is in this movie, if I'm not mistaken. But what she does, it's as a helicopter pilot during wartime, it's just complete and absolute valor. My number 4 is Courage Under Fire.
All right, yep. No, did not see that one. So we're safe at not having, well, kind of safe at not having 5. I was just seeing if you're right. I'm trying to look at the movies here.
Oh, what? Cuba Gooding Jr.? Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Why do I not? Oh, Courage Under Fire. There it is. Matt Damon's in it.
Really? Yeah. He is in briefly.
The show is Sean Astin's, Bronson
Pinchot, yeah.
Let's see. Cuba Gooding Jr. is in it. He would be not named. It doesn't look like he's
Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah.
Scott Glenn. Holy smoke! Seth Gilliam's in that movie.
Yeah, they got a good little roster there. All right.
Happen to be looking at the.
All right. So my number 4. I have a feeling this is probably one of your double ups because if I remember right, they kind of said that they go together, or people think they go together a little bit. But my number 4 stars her, Meg Ryan, and Tom Hanks, I believe. You Got Mail.
It's an identical movie. It feels like an identical movie. I'm one of those people. I think they're identical movies that just change it around. So my number 3. It's a biopic movie about the first woman trainer in boxing, where she plays opposite Omar Epps, I want to say. She's a trainer, but she's also a promoter. And I've seen this movie a couple of times, and I really like it. And it's just one of those where it steps out for what she normally does. I absolutely love the movie. And my number 3 is Against the Ropes.
Oh, I'll have to check that one out. Never seen that one.
Really?
But you are right. Omar Epps is in that one. All right. So my number 3, again, if you watch, you've seen You Got Mail. They say this movie's the same one. Sleepless in Seattle. All right. Your number.
My number 2. It's not C2C unless we're sniping. My double up. You've got it at 3 and 4. I've got it at 2A and 2B. To me, it is the exact same movie. You have it almost like you have the exact same cast in both movies, almost down to the extras. My 2A and 2B, yeah, it's Sleepless in Seattle and You've Got Mail.
All right. My number 2, We had him on a different. Let me make sure I got the co-star. No, we have not had him. No, we haven't. But I think we brought this movie up a few times. But it stars her and Billy Crystal. When Harry Met Sally.
We kind of brought it up. We brought it up with Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
Because Carrie Fisher played Sally's best friend in the movie.
Yep. Yeah, that's what it was.
She's in there like 15 minutes.
Yep.
Let's just say she's in that movie longer than she is in Hook.
Yeah.
So my number one.
My
number. I gotta double check. Yeah, still not the Dark Knight. My number one is C2C. It's not C2C unless you're sniping. My number one is your number two, When Harry Met Sally. What did I miss?
Well, I mean, she's not in it. Well, I gotta look to see who she plays in there. She might play the love interest, but Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer, Ed Edwards, Top Gun.
She's not it. Oh, well, no, that's okay. Yeah. She's not in long. That's Anthony. Yeah, it's Anthony Edwards' wife.
Oh, is that who? Okay, is that who?
Yeah, she's Goose's wife. I know who you're talking. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I keep that one. That one's a.
Honestly, I was shocked. I had to think about it too. I had to think about it too. It's like where part did she play in there? But
I forgot all about Top Gun. But it's not as bad as missing The Dark Knight and being a Batman fan.
Yeah. Or missing no, I think he did get his birthday right. Pat McAfee's birthday.
No, I didn't get Pat. I didn't have Pat McAfee.
That's right, you did it. That's right.
Nope.
But it still doesn't beat, the whole
Tony Gwynn.
The best outfielders, you forget Tony Gwynn. So
yeah, especially as much as a advocate for Tony Gwynn, you and J Mac and Callan are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Nope.
And I had it, and it looked like you had just lost your grandmother.
Oh man, it was bad. Yeah. So let's get into probably one of the bad boys. I don't know, Western bad boys. I don't know, coolest. Bad boys. I don't know how to really explain it because he doesn't overact, but he's playing a lot of westerns, and he's always that cool, collective bad guy. Or I don't know. But we're going to go with Eastwood.
I'm doubled up on this one too.
Really?
And you will never know where it's coming from. It's like a doubled up curveball.
A double up curveball. Okay. All right. So let's get into Clint Eastwood here. God, he's had so many good hits.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna go three. I'm just gonna go.
Did we
say three because he's had so many good ones.
Did we do? Oh no, okay. I had to think about. Did I not say that one and then realize it's sitting right there because I'm like Morgan Freeman. I could have added one more to the Morgan Freeman one.
Yeah,
because he's all over Clint Eastwood stuff, and it's.
Oh yeah. All right, so I'll kick it off. A movie again that I've probably seen once due to the job I had. And I couldn't remember, couldn't remember a line in it to save my life. In the Line of Fire.
I'm like, don't feel bad. If there's one that I can't, usually I'm the one. You give me three. And I've been good at this. You give me three actors, I can tell you the movie.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I can't remember anything in that movie to save my life. In the Line of Fire, I can't even remember who the opposite was. That was that Shirley MacLaine? No, that was a different one. That was Protecting.
You got Clint Eastwood. You got John McAvoy. You got Reese Russo.
Rene Russo.
Yeah.
You didn't have that one last week when we did, or 2 weeks ago when we did Rene Russo.
Yeah. All right, you're number 5.
My number 5. Again, I've seen this movie once, but it's one that kind of sticks in your head for me. Is when you got 4 astronauts who they kind of basically take out of retirement. Clint Eastwood, Donald Sutherland. You all, if anybody who's watching this wonder why I have this affinity for Donald Sutherland, he and I share a birthday, so I watch just about anything Donald Sutherland does. But it's Clint Eastwood, Donald Sutherland, Tommy Lee Jones, and oh man, I hope he's not watching. The other guy's not watching the show. James Garner, he's definitely not watching this show. He has long since passed. But they bring these 4 astronauts out of retirement because they need something done, because they're the only people that know how to do it, because they had to, because it was like they were in the Apollo missions or something. But my number 5 is Space Cowboys. Dude, you should watch it. It's hilarious. It's Clint Eastwood in a comedy, but that by itself should tell you need to watch it.
That would be something. Yeah, you're right. My number 4. I just want to get who's in this one, because this is one I've heard a lot of people like it. I just have not seen it. Where is it? Okay, why can't I find it? Anyways, I'll find it here after I say the name of the movie. But The Rookie. There it is.
The Rookie is Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen, yeah. Charlie Sheen and Clint Eastwood. But that might be not a bad combo to watch. So I might have to.
It was good. It was good. It was good. I liked it. Yeah. Didn't make my list, but it's good.
Yeah. So you're number 3.
My number 4.
Yeah.
This is the movie that I could have. I think this movie also I could have put in with Morgan Freeman, but then again, Morgan Freeman and, like I said, Clint Eastwood did tons of things together. I think Morgan would say that a lot of his career could be thanked to Clint Eastwood. But to have him have Morgan Freeman. Well, Morgan Freeman too. Morgan Freeman plays the cut man in the corner. I think this movie won the Oscar. I know it won the Oscar for Hilary Swank for Best Actress in a Movie. This is you're a sports fan, so you might like this movie too. So like along the lines of Against the Ropes, where Clint Eastwood trains Hilary Swank's character to be a boxer, and kind of like the female Rocky the female version of Rocky, but where Rocky didn't have to actually go look for somebody to help train him. Kind of weird. But my number 4 is $1 Million Baby.
They've only been in the movie together 3 times.
Okay, I've got Unforgiven. I've got $1 Million Baby, and what am I missing?
In Vintage, INVICTUS.
Invictus. That's the one about he plays Nelson Mandela, and about the first South African rugby team that won the World Cup, I want to say.
Gotcha. All right, so my number 3 is a baseball movie. Starting to climb up there as one of my favorite baseball movies. Just because it's kind of gives you a little bit behind the scenes a little bit, but Clint Eastwood is a talent scout, or a scout, goes to watch this kid play. Justin Timberlake's in it as a former baseball player turned scout for the Boston Red Sox. They go watch this one kid play, and he can't hit the curveball, and they're trying to tell the Braves that, and the Braves end up drafting the kid anyways.
Right.
And so, but my number 3 is Trouble with the Curve.
Yep. I was wondering if you like it because of Timberlake. I get it. So I'm starting to think we're not getting half the stuff we were supposed to.
No, really not.
No.
But you got a lot of movies to pick from.
Yeah, well, shoot, Clint Eastwood, there was a lot. Like Mule. I could have did Mule, but I've never seen it. Here's my double up. I only double it up because it's technically 2 movies in a series, so I'm okay. So technically, it's a. But I don't know if you watched this. This series came out in like the mid '70s, and it came out about the same time as Smokey and the Bandit.
Okay.
And Clint Eastwood plays plays a truck driver, but he, instead of having a normal human being in the cab of his semi truck, he had an orangutan that was named Clyde. And the first time I ever went to a drive-in movie theater was one of these movies was playing, and for the longest time my dad couldn't stop saying "Right turn, Clyde." So he had that stuck in his head for so long. So in a way, this is kind of my dad's pick. My number 3 is Any Which Way You Can and Every Which Way But Loose.
Yeah, I saw those on there. I think I've seen one of them, but it's been so long ago. My number 2 is your number 3, Million Dollar Baby. I honestly still have to watch it. I have not seen it all. That was your number 4?
Yep.
All right. Your number 2.
My number 2, I kind of sniped myself with Morgan Freeman. What can we say about this movie that we kind of brought it up with, Million Dollar Baby and Invictus, but my number 2 is Unforgiven.
All right. My number 1, again, he plays, like somebody that you're not supposed to really talk to or mess with, but yet I think it's his neighbor's son or something kind of befriends him, and he kind of watches over him.
That's a little bit.
But my number 1 is Gran Torino.
That is a great movie.
That is a great movie.
A great movie. Another movie I saw in the theater. It seems like I didn't watch many movies in the theater. My number one isn't a snipe, but I honestly think it's the movie series that put Clint Eastwood on the map. It also gave us Jim Carrey. The second or third one, called Deadpool. The Deadpool.
Really?
And so basically and Jim Carrey brings it up and talks about it, but where Clint Eastwood plays a cop, one of those hard-nosed cops in San Francisco, and gives us probably the second most misquoted line in cinematic history, with the "Do you feel lucky, punk?" My number 1 is the Dirty Harry series.
Jim Carrey was in that, huh?
Dirty Harry, the Deadpool.
Okay.
He plays a rock and roll star, and I think he's like the second or third person that gets killed in the movie.
Oh, okay. But not in there that long.
He's not in long. He's in long enough to get. He's there long enough to make a career. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Oh, who else was in that movie? I thought somebody jumped out at me there. Oh, okay. No, nobody jumped out.
Okay, say.
I'm just looking at pictures. Oh, Liam was in that one.
Liam Neeson was in that movie too?
Yep. All right.
Wow.
So we got one. Yeah, we're not doing so hot. So let's go to the lovely Michelle Pfeiffer.
This one gets me in trouble. This one will always get me in trouble.
Why is that?
My wife doesn't like Michelle Pfeiffer, and I'm still pushing for it to be. Now, I'm going to tell you something. That's. But do you know that the guy who does the voice of Mario, Super Mario, in the Mario series, is in this movie?
Is it what movie?
Is in the Deadpool.
Oh no, I did not know that.
Yeah, Charles Martinet. He does the voice of Mario in the Super Mario Brothers
Okay.
video game series. He's in this movie.
All right. Fun fact. All right. So let's get into it. Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean, she's had good movies. She's had a lot of movies. So this one might be a hard one to pick. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 3.
You're gonna go 3.
Yeah.
All right. I want to double check to see who the other 2 people were in this movie, so I don't remember the movie. It's been 87 since I saw it last, so I kind of have to. Oh, Susan Sarandon was in this movie, and Cher, and Jack Nicholson. Okay, cool. So my number 5. So my number 5 is a Jack Nicholson movie where he has, if I'm not mistaken, he has an affair with 3 women, and they just happen to be witches. He has an affair with the Michelle Pfeiffer character, the Susan Sarandon character, and Cher, and the Cher character, and they kind of gang up on Jack Nicholson. It's kind of a comedy after what he's done. It's been so long, but I remember the plot kind of. But my number 5 is The Witches of Eastwick.
Okay.
Like I said, it's been 87, so it's been almost 38 years ago.
All right, so my number 5 is a little gangster movie.
A gangster movie.
I've seen it a couple times.
See, a little gangster movie. That is.
That's all I can. I mean, maybe it's not so much gangster movie. I don't know.
No. It's great because I know how many people think this is the end all be all movies, and it's like, and the greatest line I've ever heard about that movie. It's a little gangster movie. I'm all for it.
My number 5 is Dangerous Minds.
That's a different movie. That was a different movie than what I was thinking of.
Well, what movie you're thinking of?
Oh, believe me, when you hear it, it's gonna be funnier.
All right.
My number 4. That's awesome. My number 4 is a movie, and technically it's a musical. Of a musical, it's a sequel to a musical that should have never needed a musical, a sequel to. Michelle Pfeiffer. If you've seen the original first movie, the Olivia Newton-John, John Travolta movie, you know about the special gang, the Pink Ladies. I almost made this a cancel culture show in a second. But Michelle Pfeiffer plays a Pink Lady. We now know Pink Ladies as a drink, so we're kind of. I think it comes from this movie, this series of movies. But my number 4 is Grease 2. Really, you don't remember? You don't remember much of Dangerous Minds? Dangerous Minds is a school movie.
Yeah, I know it's a school movie. She's a teacher in inner city school, right?
Yeah. You're good. Okay. It's a little.
Right, my number 4.
Still, that kills me.
My number 4 is. I'm looking to see who her. Al Pacino's in it. I have not seen this one.
There's a little gang movie right there.
Frankie and Johnny.
Oh man, I forgot you did another movie with Al Pacino.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're number 3.
My number 3 is a movie that stars. It's hilarious. It's a movie that stars Al Pacino and Michelle Pfeiffer, and it's not Frankie and Johnny. This is the movie I thought you were talking about, saying it's a little gangster movie. I hate this movie. Yet it's number 3 on my list. Everybody in this movie, they either swear by this movie or Godfather, and I can't deal either of them. That's exactly my feeling when I talk about Godfather and my number 3 movie. I want to yawn because they're just not that exciting to me. But my number 3 is Scarface.
All right. Well, let's go with the phrase that pays here. I rank them. You sniped me at your number 4. My number 3 is Grease 2. It's one of those movies where it's good. If they would have called it something else,
Yeah.
being that it
They
was
could have called
Grease
it Pink
2.
Ladies, and they could have called it Pink Ladies or the T-Birds, and I'd have been awesome with it.
Yeah, or just did a whole different cat or a different
Title. Yeah.
title, yeah, and did different groups, or didn't even have to put the Pink Ladies in there, T-Birds in there. They could have just done some, other movie would have been great. Being that it's Grease 2, still a good movie, but yeah, it didn't need to be made as Grease 2. All right, your number 2.
My number 2, well, it's not C2C unless we're sniping. It's your little gangster movie. My number 2 is your number 4, if I'm not mistaken.
5.
Number 5. Wow, it's number 5. Yeah, it's Dangerous Minds. And to be honest, this movie didn't need to be made either, because this was one of those. It felt like Stand By Me Stand and Deliver all over again.
Well, let's keep going with the sniping. My number 2 movies, your number 3, Scarface. Your number 1.
So, you thinking because I missed Dark Knight before? You're thinking, did he miss Batman this time?
Well, obviously you did it if you're bringing it up.
I didn't. The best Catwoman. There are people out there going, "Oh no, Halle Berry." No. No. The best. To be honest, the best two most perfectly cast villains in cinematic history: Danny DeVito and as the Penguin and Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. Yeah. My number 1 is Batman Returns.
There it is. Batman Returns. Yeah, that actually has a
staying power. Large.
Michael Keaton, Michelle Pfeiffer, Danny DeVito, Christopher Walken.
Yeah. Just the 4 people on there. Just the 4 people on there alone. What was it? Dave Brzezinski. Brzezinski. I can never get his name right. But it's Michael Goff. It's just it's a great movie. And to me, I still think it's. A lot of people are going to be wrong. Are going to hate me for this, but I still think this is better than the original.
It could be debatable. I mean, maybe that's one of our shows coming up. Is
we should really start a roundtable show,
a debate type of show.
Yeah, I need to not go to sleep at late at night, and then I can do a debate show. Oh, it's Andrew Berninski. Okay. Oh, Paul Rubens. Pee Wee Herman plays. Yep. Pee Wee Herman plays the Penguin's dad in this movie.
Yep.
Which he ends up. If you watch the Gotham series, he comes back and reprises the role of Penguin's dad in the series.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's get to Mel Gibson, a guy, could be thrown up there that at one time. You cast him, that movie turns to gold. Definitely a money maker.
Tell you, shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah. So let's see what we do here. So Mel Gibson, again, a lot of good movies, a lot of good roles. You're going 3? Yeah, I'll go with 3.
I think our number 1s are going to be identical.
Probably. All right, my number 5. Again, I've seen probably once just because of being in the movie rental world. My number 5 is Ransom.
Okay, we're definitely not going 5 then. My number 5. It's kind of funny because I forgot all about the fact is that James Garner was in Space Cowboys. And James Garner played the lead character in the TV series. It was the movie based off the TV series. You find out that James Garner actually plays Mel Gibson's dad in the movie,
Okay.
and they play opposite of Jodie Foster, and it's a great. You're a poker player, and they play
I try to
a
be.
lot of. They, I don't say I'm good. I can survive. That's what I say.
Yeah.
But my number 5 is about a card as a poker player. He plays opposite of Jodie Foster. You should watch this movie. They absolutely should watch this movie. My number 5 is Maverick.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Praise and praise. At number 4, Maverick. And the thing is I haven't seen the whole movie, but I've seen the scene, and he's got guts to do this. And if any other player has guts to do this, good for them if they win. He's in a big pot game. They go all in pretty much.
It's a tournament.
Yeah. And the one player flops over. He goes, "Well, I got 2 pairs. I got 2 8s and 2 pairs of for a 4 of a kind." And I can't remember who the other hand has, but then Mel Gibson's character, gets his 1 card, doesn't look at it, as he goes all in, and he flips it up, and it's the ace of spades to give him the royal flush. And like I said, if anybody has the guts to do that on that big of a pot,
I'll be honest. I've done that in Texas Hold'em, but I'm usually all in with like 1,000 chips.
Yeah.
Usually the blinds are going to kill me, so I have to kind of just.
Well, yeah, I've done no look too. Like if my last couple hundred, whatever.
Yeah,
so.
I've played it blind before, and it's like, well, if I live, I live. If I die, I die.
Exactly. All right, you're number 4.
My number 4 is a movie that really started my admiration for Jason Isaacs, because the first time I saw him was he played a green coat in the movie, and then you kind of see what kind of acting chops that Heath Ledger had playing the son of Mel Gibson in this movie. I think it's like his second movie he ever did outside of 10 Things I Hate About You. But I love this. Another movie I will watch until the end of time, and it doesn't change. My number 4 is The Patriot.
Okay. My number 3 is a comedy. Actually pretty fun. The first one was pretty good, but I think the second one's even better because of the 4 people in there. In the first one, you have Matt Wahlberg and Will Ferrell as the 2 dads. One's a stepdad, of course, and then they bring in their dads, which is John Lithgow, who plays Will Ferrell's dad, and Mel Gibson, who plays Matt Wahlberg. And again, they could make a movie of Matt Wahlberg and Mel Gibson as father and son. I think I still would watch it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My number 3 is Daddy's Home 2.
Yeah, I love those movies. Those are great movies. You couldn't have picked better actors for those roles.
For the grandfathers, no.
Yeah.
All right, your number 3.
My number 3 is a series of movies that now you're going to start wondering which series of movies that I'm talking about that really put Mel Gibson on the map in the United States. It's big enough that you get in the third movie, you get Tina Turner to actually play a character in the movie. You kind of, and there was always rumors that Heath Ledger was going to come back to play the son. Chris Hemsworth actually was supposed to come back to play the son too, but he ends up doing Furiosa. But my number 3 is the Mad Max series.
Oh, okay. Never got those ones.
The first one's a little in, but the second 2 are amazing.
All right. My number 2, probably one of his most iconic movies. And, I say iconic, everybody's going to say, well, why do you have it at number 2? I'm not a big fan of the movie, but, I had to probably watch, the 7-hour movie. It felt like 7 hours in
Feels like
class.
7 hours.
So my number 2 is Braveheart.
I'm gonna say you're gonna say Passion of the Christ. I'm like, he's in there for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
He's basically all you see is his hand in Passion of the Christ. Well, it's not C2C unless you're sniping. My number 2 is your number 2, Braveheart, because again, it's an epic movie. But when you talk about Mel Gibson, you're talking about our number 1 movies. That's
Yep.
it. That's all you ever talk about.
Yep. And at number 1, a series of movies.
And they're doing a 5th one. They're doing a 5th one.
Which I will probably watch.
Of course, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
Hell,
exactly.
it gave us Chris Rock.
Just like Beverly Hills Cop, they brought out the 5th one or whatever. I'll watch that one. Of course, Mel Gibson's not in that one, but he's in this one. Lethal Weapons.
Yeah, it's not C2C unless you're sniping. Go ahead, put your little flashy flash on there to get your sniper rifle there. Yeah. What can you say? I'm too old for this shit. Yeah. You couldn't have.
That's the one too. Lethal Weapon. That's where they rig the toilet too, where he can't move. Right?
Yeah, it's a second movie. It's a second movie, and and Murtaugh, or not Murtaugh, but Riggs goes in there and that, where they get, that's where Family Guy gets the running joke about where Cleveland's always, every time they blow up the house, Cleveland's falling off the toilet. It's basically off of that. It's brilliant.
Yeah, no, that's and actually the TV show was actually pretty good too.
Yeah. I got to download it to start watching it.
Yeah. So.
Did you? Okay, we talk about George. We talk about George Wendt, but did you ever get a chance to see when he was on The Masked Singer?
I saw clips of it.
Yeah. So did I. I saw the episode. I'm like, I had no clue. Absolutely zero clue.
See, I used to watch Masked Singer a lot, and then I was on a couple Facebook groups, and if you did agree with them, you just got ripped. It was just like,
the Victor. Did you? I got the chance to see the Victor show. I thought that was amazing. I thought Victor was awesome. I saw the Alexa Bliss one.
I have to watch that.
Yeah,
one.
she was on there. Yeah,
I liked, honestly, the one I really liked was the fact Matt Wahlberg was on it, and it
was Donnie. It was Donnie, one of the Backstreet Boys. Great. No, it's Donnie. Because Donnie's married to Jenny McCarthy.
Is it Donnie? I thought it was Matt.
No, it's Donnie.
Okay. You could be right. But anyway, let's get to it.
You could be right.
Wahlberg was married to her.
No, Mark's not married to her.
All right. So let's get to our blind 5. So this is a category we pick. We don't tell the other one this one. Tim, I'm going to let you go first because I got. Go ahead.
You're going to love this. So, I did this last week for last week's show, and then all of a sudden, the Timberwolves kind of shocked me and found their way in they tripped their way into the Western Conference Finals by beating the Golden State Warriors. So on that note alone, my list is your favorite teams that you will think will win a championship.
None.
Oh no. And this is, you're gonna love this one.
All right.
I'm gonna start off with the Twins.
That's going to bring home a title first?
First. I meant to put first.
I'll go 3 because they always, I don't know, they get there, but they just falter in the playoffs. I'll go 3 with the Twins.
The next one we'll go is the Wild.
again, another team that could put it together. They
Are they
show
in the playoffs right now?
they got bounced.
At least you made the playoffs.
Yeah, I'll go 4 because they're another team too that just can't get it into the playoffs.
So since I brought them up, the Timberwolves.
Well, by default, right now they got the best chance. It all depends on what they do. Game 1, they started off just on fire, and then they faltered. They lost by 20, I think it
We
was.
lost by like 20, yeah. It was like 113 to 88.
This is a team. This is a team that I know we say it all the time. If you play your game and you
Nobody
know
can beat you, yeah.
you're going to win. And this
Yeah,
is what the Wolves are. The Wolves play their game, and and Anthony Edwards is on. I'm not going to compare him to Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. Everybody's, he does at points have that killer mentality that this is my team, my game. I'm going to take it over.
Would you put him up to like Carmelo Anthony standards or Dwayne Wade standards?
Yeah, I put him around there. I would say right now, Anthony
ahead of
Edwards
Butler.
is probably in my top 15 as we get into it. I mean, granted, he has to win a ring. He's going to win an MVP.
Yeah.
By default, I'm going to put the Wolves at 1 because I think they have a good shot this year.
All right, then we're going to. The next one is the Vikings.
God, the biggest question right now is their quarterback play. They've knocked on the door so many times. They faltered so many times. Their best team was 98, and they couldn't get a coach to keep throwing to Randy Moss. Instead, here, let's take a timeout. The Brett Favre years, I think they would have got to the game, but I think they would have lost it. I'm going to go Vikings number 2.
Well, this one here was the fun one because so far you're lined up right where I've got it, but the final one I've got is the Stars.
The Stars? Dallas Stars?
Yeah.
Yeah, and no fault of their own, but yeah, they should give the name back to Minnesota. But yeah,
I did that because it's like it's because you and I both grew up as Minnesota being the North Stars, and then it's like I have to throw that one in there. Going, I
was worried that you're going to throw the Lynx in there because Lynx are looking good right now.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the Lynx. I was like, I just wanted to throw that in there and watch you just blow a gasket with the.
Yeah, because I think was it 2 years after they moved, they won the title.
Yeah, with Madonna and
and I'm glad Madonna and Broughton and them guys got the title. But
I'm glad they did too. It's just I much like you.
They should just they should have left this North Star name in Minnesota.
Yeah, it should have been like it should have been like what the Browns did, what the Ravens did with the Browns. They should have left it in Minnesota.
Exactly. So my blind five for you is last week, I believe, if I'm right, it might have been the week before. Your brother, my brother from another mother, had a birthday. So
yes, he did.
All right. So happy belated birthday, Ryan. My top 5 is 5
10 days ago. 10 days ago.
10 days ago. Okay. So mine is the top 5 people named Ryan.
Oh dear shit. Oh God. And I hear okay, go ahead. Okay.
I'm going to go with Major League Baseball. Brewers, Ryan Braun.
Oh, you and Braun. Oh, shoot. God, that team would have been so much better if they never let Prince leave. I like the numbers he put up. Would it have been better that he hadn't did the stuff with Balco? Probably. And even when he was clean, he was still putting up the numbers. So it made no difference. I'll say 3.
Okay. Actor Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, when you said baseball, I thought you were going to tell me. Ryan Sandberg. or Nolan Ryan. Oh golly, I'm gonna be safe, and I love Ryan Reynolds. I have tweeted to Ryan Reynolds more than one occasion.
Well, hopefully he's not watching the show then.
Oh no, he kind of hopes that I pick one or two if he's watching the show. I'll say two. I think he's funny. I think he's probably one of the funniest people
He
alive.
is a funny guy.
He's funny. He's smart. I two, because I'm afraid of what you're going to put at number one.
All right. Well, I will go with Nolan Ryan as my next pick for you.
I don't think Ryan Reynolds would be so upset that I put Nolan Ryan above him. Yeah, I'm gonna. Wow, this is. I don't know that. Here's the sad thing: is I got to know all the Ryans. I'm gonna say 4 because I have this bad feeling. I have this really bad feeling.
Ooh. Ryan Gosling.
Oh, 5.
Damn it! You blew it. I had a spitball, but I was hoping you'd leave 5 for somebody else, but Ryan Seacrest.
Oh God. Oh.
That's your number 1.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
I was hoping you would leave number 5 because then I was going to say your brother. I was going to say Ryan Hendrick.
And it's like I have this feeling I had this thing. I'm like, Ryan watches the show and he's gonna go. He's gonna and my brother knows you well enough that you got to play this off where it don't look bad. And I'm like, golly, but you said
I was hoping that you would have left 5 because I was going to put it there. I would have
put Nolan. But the thing is, and this is the game I was thinking in my head. I'm thinking Nolan Ryan. Oh shit, Nolan Ryan. Oh God, and Ryan would have told me to put Nolan Ryan at number 1. He would have.
Where would you have put Ryan Sandberg?
Oh, are we taking anybody off the list? Like Gosling or Seacrest?
I mean, you probably take Seacrest off. So
I would take Seacrest off. I'd put Sandberg. I'd put him ahead of Gosling and Seacrest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, all right. So with that being said, Tim, your final thoughts?
Oh, yeah, man! I knew you were going to play a game. I knew it. Just had that feeling. I'm going.
It almost set up perfectly that I'm like, okay, who can I get him to say 1? And when you put Nolan Ryan at 4, I'm like, well, that goes with that one, but he still has 1 up there. But I was really hoping you would have left 5 on open. Your final thoughts.
My final thoughts. I like doing these. I can say I'm trying to say who I'm running out of actors and actresses, but I've kind of got 3 actors already stuck in my head for next week. Actresses, no freaking clue. I could go underrated and overrated actors and actresses but yeah, I've got a good thought of who I want to do for. But no, keep watching our show. Keep watching all of our shows. I can't remember. You guys need to send me a schedule so when I do these, I can be a little bit better for it. But now that we're on Thursdays, it kind of screws up. Wednesdays and Thursdays kind of screws up my timing on things.
Yeah. So with that being said, final thoughts. Keep checking us out. We are kind of going through a revamp. Shows how we're going to try to get some people back on, find out what their schedule's like, get some of these shows back rolling. I kind of miss Sports Minute. I kind of miss Roundtable, Kicking It. Let's so just keep checking us out. Behind the scenes, we are talking about doing some revamping, but outside that, Bears Huddle. Coming up, we were going to do a show. We still might do a show, but their preseason game got canceled due to some unforeseeable things on the other team's side of the ball. So we'll still have them on, have the coach on. They just revealed their uniforms and stuff. Looked really sick looking, purple and dark black. So got that coming up. With that being said, keep checking us out. We'll see you next week on Rankem. Have a good one.